Tonight we're going to take 3 guys, 3 girls and rather a lot of alcohol, and we'll see not just what happens when they mix, as why things happen and what goes on inside the body when they do. "90% of people in the UK enjoy a drink. Not everyone drinks heavily, but however you look at it, it's part of modern life. But while we're all familiar with alcohol, what surprises me in my work in addiction is just how little people understand about what really happens to them when they have a glass of wine or beer, and, given the dangers of excessive drinking, why alcohol is so appealing." Our first group of guinea pigs are musicians. Michael, Nick and Grant are in their late 20s, and like most of us, they enjoy a drink.
For me, right, the first drink, it's like a radio that's ever so slightly out of tune. The radio's ever so slightly out of tune, and that first beer, for me, it just brings it into focus.
I've never played a gig sober. We always sound better after a couple of beers, because everyone just immediately relaxes. What we've done before is sort of play for a couple of hours, then we'll have a beer, have a break, and then everyone's really relaxed and it plays better.
I've got to sing, so I don't want to lose control of that particularly. But afterwards is an entirely different story, of course. Celebrate or commiserate, you know, delete as applicable, we'll see.
I'd love a glass of wine now.
Yeah, I'd really like to...
I'd give my right one for a glass of wine.
I would really like to be able to have a glass of wine.
The guys aren't drinking because, for the sake of modern science, they've agreed to give hormone samples before, during and after a night on the tiles. And they have to be sober for the first sample. As the evening goes on, we aim to discover the surprising way that male testosterone levels change and how that affects men's bodies.
That was deeply, deeply unpleasant.
And we're better to see how alcohol can influence the way we behave than on a blind date.
What's the difference between a dog and a fox?
Don't know.
10 pints of lager.
Gin and tonic, please.
I'm Anne-Marie, I'm 29 years old, come from Huddersfield and run a yacht charter company.
I'm Helen, I'm 26, I'm from Hull. I'm crew on a luxury yacht. My likes are socialising, drinking.
My name's Rachel, I'm 30 from Huddersfield. I'll say I'm a photographer.
The girls have also agreed to have their hormones measured, but it's not levels of estrogen, the female sex hormone, that change when they go drinking. It's testosterone that will affect their behaviour the most.
I think my favourite drink is a really cold glass of white wine.
Gin and tonic at the moment, yeah. Used to always be vodka, soda and lime, but now gin and tonic's my new one.
I do like a nice single malt to help me to sleep.
My favourite is tequila. But I'm not talking about slammers. What I like is to take a glass of something a bit special, have a sip, and it's just beautiful.
But whatever magical effect you think your favourite drink has, in fact, it's really down to how much gets into your bloodstream, how fast. And that depends on many things. Food is key. If you drink on an empty stomach, you get pissed quickly, whereas food slows the process down, but that's not because it's lining your stomach. It's all down to a valve, the pyloric valve, that lets food and drink pass from the stomach to the small intestine, where they're mostly digested. While the valve is closed and the alcohol is trapped in the stomach, not much gets through. It's only when the food moves on and the valve opens again that the alcohol enters the small intestine and is absorbed itself. and other things affect this valve as well.
For many people, the strongest drinks, 40% spirits like tequila here and scotch, irritate the pyloric valve. And this has the effect of clamping it shut, holding alcohol in the stomach and delaying its effects for quite a while.
The pyloric valve might even explain why the alcohol in fizzy drinks acts so quickly. It's thought that the gas increases the pressure in the stomach, forces the valve wide open, and lets the alcohol straight through.
Tonight I'm going to be working through as many of these as I can and try and demonstrate the specific effects that alcohol can have on all of us.
Because however individual we think we are, the effects of drink are pretty much universal.
Usually what happens when I drink is first 4 pints, excellent. Having a whale of a time. I can be really, really funny, and have a laugh and be flirty and charming and everyone's favourite friend, and then turn into a complete git and be horrible and nasty and say things that are coming out of my mouth and I don't even know why I'm saying them.
I don't know my limit, do I? If I'm out with girlfriends, we're enjoying ourselves, we're chatting, I'll just carry on and on drinking, and I will not at any stage think, actually I'm quite drunk now, I don't need to drink anymore, I should just stay at this level.
It's 8 o'clock and time for the evening to begin. The guys are still sober and more than a little tense.
I'm more nervous now than I was before the gig.
I'm not.
How are you feeling? You nervous? You nervous? What are you nervous about?
What I'm nervous about? Being a twat, basically.
Where are we going?
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Have a seat, have a seat.
Thank you. Have you come far?
I'm bad enough for this sort of thing at the best of times, so I'm just...
Facing an awkward situation like a blind date, most of us might have a drink to ease the tension.
Right, I'm going to go to the bar.
Yeah, we'll get a drink.
What are you having? Are you going with it? Lager, gin and tonic.
It loosens you up. It gets you ready for the night. Your inhibitions come down a bit, and you just feel good, and you're ready to have a good time, and that's what it's all about.
Okay.
There's more than one reason why the first drink feels so good. The first thing alcohol does is to increase levels of dopamine, the chief neurotransmitter that makes us feel pleasure. And at the same time, it's working on a second neurotransmitter called GABA, whose normal job is to slow nerve activity down. Alcohol enhances the action of GABA and slows things down even further. But different parts of the brain are affected by different amounts of booze. The first bit to go is the frontal lobe. This is the brain's executive center, and it's where we keep our conscience and our self-control. And when we drink, brain activity in the frontal lobe is reduced almost immediately. And before long, we're losing our inhibitions, and our behavior becomes more impulsive and emotional.
I don't care!
Slowly but surely, we get ever more immature because as we drink, the different parts of the brain are affected in the reverse order to which they developed as we grew up, with the result that a night on the tiles becomes a stagger back to childhood.